Rubbing shoulders with dictators, strange sicknesses, inactivity, and a fake retirement, dominating beatdowns of UFC legends, and a side to his personality no one expected. This is the enigma that is Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev came onto the UFC like a wrecking ball, with spectacularly fast and vicious finishes. Many thought his rise to the top was inevitable. Playing the villain role perfectly, Chimaev's rise has been meteoric, but that idea seemed to fade for a few reasons. And now, fight fans have questions and are wondering if it's ever going to happen. Questions like what happened to Chimaev's health and why was he always sick? He has pulled out of fights and even once posted about retirement. What was that all about? What's this we are hearing about Khamzat having troubles getting a visa for US entry? Doesn't seem like a problem for other fighters from around the globe, so what is the suspicion around Chimaev? Embracing the role of villain, Chimaev literally threatened to kill everybody on the roster in his infamous post-fight interview. Is he as crazy and psychotic as he appears to be in the octagon? What is Khamzat like outside of the cage when he's not thrashing other fighters and threatening to kill everyone? At one point, the name Khamzat sent shivers down the spines of UFC fighters, and he had trouble getting matchups. But has that aura faded with the inactivity and sickness and pulling out of fights? Is Khamzat still feared like he once was? Let's get into it, but first please hit that subscribe and like button, it really helps the channel. In late 2020, Khamzat Chimaev seemed unstoppable. 3 UFC fights, 3 dominant wins. But then, everything came to a screeching halt. COVID-19 struck, and for Khamzat, it wasn't just a mild case. It became a life-altering ordeal. Like many athletes, Chimaev faced complications from the virus, including lung inflammation and severe fatigue. The man who had never shown weakness in the octagon found himself coughing up blood. At one point, he even announced his retirement, writing, "I think I'm done." It was a shocking moment for fans and fighters alike. But why does Chimaev seem to struggle with illness more than other fighters? It's likely a combination of factors. First, lingering effects of COVID-19, often referred to as a long COVID, can wreak havoc on the respiratory and immune systems, especially for someone who pushes their body to the extremes. Second, Khamzat's relentless training style might actually be working against him. Known for training multiple times a day with little rest, he's pushing his body to the brink. This kind of overtraining can suppress the immune system, making it harder to recover from illnesses. And then there's the stress of weight cutting. Chimaev competes in 2 divisions, welterweight and middleweight, which means drastic weight cuts that deplete his body of vital nutrients and hydration. For someone recovering from a major illness, this adds even more strain. We will likely see him remain in middleweight to avoid the brutal weight cut. Another factor other than the illnesses that has tempered Chimaev's activity is his bizarre visa situation. There has been strange speculation and rumors around his problems acquiring a US visa, potentially due to his association with Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, who is under US sanctions. Kadyrov, a controversial figure known for alleged human rights abuses, has often promoted Chimaev as a symbol of Chechen pride and strength. Chimaev has attended events hosted by Kadyrov and trained at facilities linked to the Chechen regime, which have drawn international attention. This connection has sparked debate, with critics raising concerns about Chimaev's endorsement of Kadyrov's rule. These speculations suggested that Chimaev's connections might hinder his entry into the United States. However, Khamzat has publicly refuted these claims, stating that he has not applied for a US visa recently and was advised to focus on fights in Arab countries for the time being. He emphasized his ability to compete globally, including in the US, and attributed his recent absence from American events to personal health issues rather than visa complications. UFC President Dana White also confirmed that Chimaev has not encountered significant visa problems, noting that the fighter has previously competed in the US despite these assurances. Chimaev has expressed hope that political changes, such as the potential re-election of Donald Trump, might facilitate his future participation in US-based events. What is Khamzat like outside of the octagon? He has annihilated fighters and been speculated to have connections with Chechen dictators. For all the fear he inspires inside the cage, Khamzat Chimaev is a surprisingly kind soul outside of it. Behind the war cries and the brutal finishes is a man who's deeply connected to his family, his fans, and his heritage. Chimaev is known for his humility and generosity, whether it's taking time to mentor young fighters, helping his training partners, or showing gratitude to his fans. Khamzat embodies the spirit of a warrior who fights for more than just himself. He fights for his people, his team, and his legacy. He has a very loving and close relationship with his mother, and let's not forget his sense of humor. Despite his fearsome reputation, he's often seen joking around, flashing a smile, and even breaking into song. It's this duality, the fierce competitor and the gentle human, that makes Khamzat such a compelling figure. Let's not get it twisted, he might have a kind soul, sure, but when Khamzat Chimaev is healthy, he's a monster in the octagon, a fighter so dominant, so relentless, that even elite competitors fear stepping into the cage with him. What makes him so terrifying? First, his versatility. Chimaev is a world-class wrestler with a knack for controlling his opponents on the ground. Once he takes you down, it's like quicksand. The more you struggle, the worse it gets. And his pace is psychotic. Second, his striking is no joke either. Remember his fight against Gerald Meerschaert? A one-punch knockout in just 17 seconds. Most fighters either excel in grappling or striking, but Chimaev does both at an elite level. And then there's his mindset. Khamzat doesn't just fight to win, he fights to dominate. He storms out of the gate with relentless pressure, leaving his opponents overwhelmed and scrambling for survival. It's this combination of skills, power, and unrelenting aggression that makes him a nightmare matchup for anyone in the UFC. So can Khamzat Chimaev still be the most feared fighter in the UFC? Yes. Will he be the next UFC champion? Absolutely. The tools are all there. He's already defeated some of the UFC's best, including former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman and legend Robert Whittaker. At welterweight, his wrestling and size make him a nightmare for fighters like Leon Edwards. At middleweight, his power and speed give him an edge over even the most dangerous strikers. The potential for Chimaev to dominate not just one, but two divisions is very real. Khamzat Chimaev's leap to middleweight was nothing short of monumental, culminating in a statement victory over former champion Robert Whittaker. Moving up in weight, many questioned whether Chimaev's relentless wrestling and ferocious pressure would translate against bigger, stronger opponents. Whittaker, known for his elite striking, incredible takedown defense, and experience at the top of the division, was widely seen as Chimaev's toughest test. Yet Khamzat silenced all doubts with a dominant performance, using his grappling mastery to control Whittaker for the majority of the fight. His ability to neutralize Whittaker's offense and impose his will showcased that Chimaev's power, speed, and relentless style are just as effective at 185 pounds, solidifying his status as a legitimate middleweight contender and striking fear into the rest of the division. The big question now is, can Khamzat stay healthy and reach his full potential? If he can, the UFC might be looking at one of its most dominant champions in history. A man who doesn't just win, he makes it look easy. So what do you think? Is Khamzat Chimaev destined to be the UFC's next great champion? One thing's for sure, whether you love him or fear him, the story of Khamzat Chimaev is far from over. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of MMA. And remember, as Khamzat himself would say, I smash everybody.